Hey, what's up guys? And first of all, if you would like to support me and the channel as well, my PayPal will be in the description. So yeah guys, I'm back with a brand new episode, part 4 of What If Naruto Was the Sentry, guys. Remember to get this to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channels if you're new. Yes, I indeed have 3 more channels. Anime King 2, Anime King 3, Anime Symbol, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. And also guys, don't forget to turn on the bell notification to see when I post, because I do post a hell of a lot. And also if you have an idea and you want it to be done by me, just go over to any of my latest videos on any of my channels and simply comment your ideas down there and I'll jot it down for future use. So yeah, welcome if you're new, and if you're existing, I hope you enjoy this episode. So yeah, without further ado or wasting any more time, how about we jump into this brand new episode? Begin the intro. So the last part that we left off, Naruto was placed on Team 7 with Sasuke Uchiha and Sakura Haruno. You see, a lot has taken place since Naruto publicly came out as a son of the 4th Hokage, as there was a lot of people sucking up to him. Even those that treat him like garbage in the past now saw him as someone that they need to respect. Unfortunately though, Naruto wasn't that naive to simply take them by their words, knowing that most of their gaze are just masked by their lies. After all, Naruto could read someone's mind. Some people believe that it was better for them to be on his side now because of the lineage that he has. But in the past, none of them truly care. They always look away, they treat him like garbage, but now they wanted to be friends. They wanted to pretend like they know him. Unfortunately, Naruto wasn't about to stand up for that, as he made it quite clear, even putting off a few people by his attitude. Sasuke Uchiha was a real friend of his though. When the bell test came around, Kakashi Hatake was able to see that Naruto was much stronger than even the Hokage believed. Hiruzen was warned by Danzo that Naruto was going to be the downfall of everything that he comes to know because he was too soft on that child. Danzo was failing in every single area as he tried to replicate the Super Sentry Serum. Yes, he was failing in every single way, as he wasn't able to do anything or destroy what Naruto was. And it's been years. They truly did not know the levels of his powers now. He's grown phenomenally. He's become something that they can't manage. His attitude was really showing that very much. Yes, it was showing. Team 7 ended up venturing towards the land of Wave, where they ran into the Demon Brothers. They were the first to be shocked by Naruto and his strength. How ridiculously overpowered he truly was. He crushed them without a thought. They stood no chance. They posed no threat to him though, so Naruto did not need to kill them. Venturing onwards, they found themselves making their way. They came across Zabuza Momochi. Naruto single-handedly threw Zabuza blade so far into the heavens that it would not come back down, and dismantled the both of them. Haku grabbed onto Sakura, using her as a bargain leverage, seeing that Naruto would kill Zabuza. Unfortunately though, Naruto was able to create a protective bubble around Sakura so that she wouldn't be harmed, and just like that, Naruto disabled the both of them like they were nothing. They had to run for their life. Some missions are simply just not worth it. Team 7 returned back to the house. as Naruto got to meet the family here and the people, and Naruto was pissed off, given that his entire life was him being a, well, innocent person who was bullied by so many others around him. Naruto was angered at levels that many could not even truly understand. He was pissed, violently so, in ways that was making him tremble with rage. Naruto told Sasuke that he was going to find Gato. Kakashi was against this and tried to protest, but Naruto simply did not care, and Sasuke wanted to test his strength. They both flew off as Naruto grabbed him. Naruto was able to circumvent the entire place and find where Gato was located inside of a mansion. Arriving there, Sasuke took on the thugs as Naruto went for the main deal. Gato was nothing in front of Naruto, but when Naruto found out that they were innocent people here kept as slaves, he lost it as a void started to creep out. Naruto was turning people into shadows. However, it was Sasuke's cry of pain after being overrun snapped Naruto out of it as a void. The void relaxed back in his own dimension, a world within Naruto's mind, where he sat and waited for his opportunity. Naruto erased the targets, but Sasuke also awakened his Sharingan. Due to the high stressful moment and his desire to come out on top and face his brother one day. Returning back, Kakashi Hatake was pissed, but Naruto simply did not care, as there was most people that he did not really give a damn about. Naruto aided them build the bridge, as the people there they were grateful for him, as he felt wonderful being someone's hero. Returning back, the Hokage was truly pissed, as Naruto and Sasuke were punished with mostly garbage missions because of their actions, but neither was upset about it. Sasuke was actually happy because Naruto gave him the scrolls. You see, Gato had a lot of money inside of his little mansion, and a lot of important scrolls as well, as the Uchiha did not hesitate to try and learn all of them. When the Chunin exam came around, Naruto and Sasuke could not be taken out of it due to the fact that, well, both boys were something that every other people wanted to see, so they had to participate. Going into the test, they found themselves venturing inside, but Naruto noticed someone peculiar. The stronger he got, the more he seemed to be able to do almost anything that he desired. Naruto ended up finding the girl after he saved her from a bear. Her name was Karin Uzumaki. Naruto was able to bring her body back to a former state by manipulating her molecules, removing the scars from her. Karin was shocked as Naruto got to see a glimpse of who she was, a glimpse of what she's been through. She was a Uzumaki like him. The rage that Naruto felt as he took her headband off and crushed it. He told her that she did not deserve to be punished, that she did not deserve to go through something like that, and she will never go through something like that ever again. All she needed to do was trust him, as he held his hand out. Meanwhile, Orochimaru was here, searching for his Super Sentry serum wielder, the person that would make him better, the person that would give him the result that he was always looking for. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across the place, check out for yourself. So to be in this new episode, how everything can change so quickly and so easily. All she had to do was to place her hand within his palm, to trust him, to put her trust in him. They were connected. She never had anyone else. It was always her and her mother. And when her mother was taken away, she had nothing and no one else. And he too was the same. Their life was similar in a way. Both of them put through hell because they were both special. And now, she was free of that cursed place. Her headband was gone. He crushed it with his bare hands. He was truly remarkable. However, she was afraid, terrified, that he would put his life on the line for her. She didn't want him to die. She knew the leader of the land of grass. He was ruthless. He was wicked. He would do whatever it takes. And she was afraid. However, the confidence, the wave of overwhelming superiority, knowing that he would do whatever it takes, knowing that he would make her dreams a reality just by his words alone, made Karin Uzumaki feel safe as she walked with Team 7. She was standing with Chakra by her side. Chakra was speaking to the girl. She was surprised as well, never knowing that Naruto's last name was a clan. Yes, he was the son of the 4th Hokage, but it wasn't his father's clan, it was his mother's. Karin was speaking to Chakra about Naruto. She didn't know that much about him, and this was not the time. But perhaps a little detail wouldn't be that bad. Chakra only had good things to say about Naruto. On the first mission when she was afraid, he made her feel safe. A whole country of people praised him because he was a hero to them, because he saved countless lives, returning countless innocent people back to their home. Karin looked ahead as she saw him. A smile graced her features more than before. Sasuke looked towards Naruto. Sasuke knew that this would not be going down as easy as Naruto believed, despite that girl being tied to him by their clan. Well, taking her from a village like this, without any past aggression, without any past law that one could simply take a clan member in a way, and not to mention, due to Naruto clan no longer being here, no system of Uzumakis. However, Naruto only had one thing to say about that. He was done. Yes, he was done. He meant that he was done playing the part. That he was playing all of his life. Things were different now, and things would be forever different. And nothing will change that. Naruto turned his head to the side as a massive snake was tearing through the foliage, speeding towards the group. Every member was about to jump away. However, with a single hand, Naruto stopped the behemoth, pressing its upper mouth down, keeping it pressed against the earth. The snake moved wildly, its lower half, its tail, destroying the trees behind it as it tried to get free, but Naruto gripped it tightly. Naruto looked forward as he noticed. "I know you're there. There's no point of hiding," said Naruto. His hand started to glow with golden energy. The snake started to scream. Its entire body was enveloped. It started to rush and move around, but still unable to move due to the grip that Naruto had on it. And it died. Its body completely burnt out and turning into ashes. The others stood there behind Naruto, Sasuke activating his Sharingan. Stepping out of the foliage was a woman. She smiled towards the group. "Impressive," she said, as she stepped towards them. She appeared right in the center. Unfortunately for her though, Naruto was already looking directly in her eyes. She was caught off guard. "Reveal yourself," said Naruto. The next moment, the skin that was covering his actual face started to burn as Naruto's eyes were glowing. Orochimaru pulled away and gripped onto his face, tearing the skin off. Looking shocked as he looked back up. When Sakura saw his face, she was frightened. She saw that face in a book. That's Orochimaru. Karin knew who that was as well. There was a lot of lore on Konoha. A lot of history as well. The name was quite popular. But that man was one of the Sanins. The both of them stepped back as Naruto stepped forward, Sasuke stepping up as well. "What are you doing here?" said Naruto. "This exam is not for you." "I'm here to see you, of course," Orochimaru said, a smile on his face. "You don't even know me." Oh, on the contrary, I do. I created you, Orochimaru said. What? Naruto asks. The Super Sentry Serum, Orochimaru said. I heard that you found it. Naruto narrowed his gaze towards the man. And how would you know about that? Kabuto. So he's a spy then, said Naruto. Orochimaru blinked in confusion. Yes, I can read your mind. And I know why you're here. Trying to convince me to join your side. To abandon Konoha. Offer me more power, but that is literally impossible. There's nothing that you can offer me. And showing your face here was a mistake. Because I'm gonna kill you. You've been a threat to this village for so long. A tyrant. A traitor. You were a Sannin. One of the 3 best for this village, and yet you did so much awful things. Naruto said, stepping forward. Your former teacher once thought about you while I was speaking to him. Because he started to fear my power. 30 kids were taken. Every single one of them died. You experimented on children. They were hopeless, small and weak. And you used them and they died and you didn't give a damn. Orochimaru started to get nervous. You should be afraid, said Naruto. The Sannin found himself breaking through several trees as Naruto had pushed off so fast. Orochimaru tried as snakes shot from his sleeve. Unfortunately though, their teeth broke on Naruto's skin. Naruto snapped the Sannin into the sky with a punch. Orochimaru felt his head dizzy. Something shot by him. He looked up as Naruto kicked off the ear and came down, his fist coated with golden energy. Orochimaru, his body was dazzled from a single punch. He had to, his mouth open as he slipped through. Naruto punched the excess skin of his remains, and it was gone, eviscerated. The Sannin jumped from tree to tree, landing down and twisting. When Naruto burst out of the ground and gripped his throat, Naruto slammed him into the ground. Orochimaru threw up at least 1,000 snakes in Naruto's face, trying to push him back as he slipped away. Naruto started to tear through them, ripping them apart. He raised his fist and buried it in the ground, blasting all of them away. Orochimaru was speeding through the foliage. This child was much more. Naruto grabbed the back of his head and started to tear it across the ground. The Sannin started to scream. Naruto turned him around as Orochimaru spit the Kusanagi blade and gripped it. He slammed it against Naruto's face. Unfortunately, it barely left a scratch. The Sannin twisted and landed and started to attack, moving at his fastest, as he could not hold back. This child was something else, much more than he expected, and his underestimation of him was going to get him killed. However, Naruto started to move so fast after images were being seen as he zipped around Orochimaru. The Sannin released a powerful wind attack right in Naruto's face. Powerful wind cutting blades, but Naruto kept on stepping forward, pushing through and pushing through. Orochimaru jumped away immediately. It's people like you that deserve to die in this world. It's people like you that ruin the future. And it's people like you that should not live beyond this point. Naruto raised his hand as every tree surrounding them, 50 plus, root themselves out of the earth. Naruto bent the molecules inside of each and every one of them, breaking away the bark and turning them into a spear. They start to glow golden as they were reinforced by his energy. Naruto then clapped his hand together. Orochimaru tried his best to slip through all of them, but his body was ripped apart. Once again surviving by coming out of his own mouth, the Sannin went through hand sign. Summoning, Naruto grabbed his hand and ripped it off. shocking the Sannin as Naruto beat Orochimaru's hand into his own skull before beating it into his face, launching him through the foliage. Orochimaru picked himself up. As Naruto was stepping towards him, the Sannin. Watch as Naruto was about to shoot off. This time though, Orochimaru was ready as he slammed both hands down, summoning Rashomon. 3 powerful gates emerge. The Sannin turned to run, but suddenly, boom, 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 Naruto crashed through all of them and sunk his fist in Orochimaru's face, trembling the very ear itself. Orochimaru was shot like a bullet, crashing and tearing and crashing and tearing. Every single bone in his body and his face shattering. Orochimaru looked up as Naruto was above him floating in a black and yellow suit, his arms folded. As I said, you're a parasite, a vermin, and you will die today, said Naruto. The Sannin started to rage, to think that his own creation believed he can best him. He created him. He created the serum. He was Orochimaru. He was supposed to be immortal. He wouldn't die here. He would not die here, he raged. In the distance was Anko Midarashi. After finding the faceless ninjas, she immediately understood what was going on. However, that is when she felt the power surge, an enormous, unbelievable amount of power. She raced towards the scene when suddenly, boom! The gates first. She knew it was him, but who was he fighting? Who was strong enough to give him a fight like that? And then, boom! A 8-headed Hydro Snake, Orochimaru's most powerful form, came to life. The Sannin refused to die. Naruto was hit into the sky, courtesy of Orochimaru, new transformation. The middle snake opened its mouth and released a fire breath that slammed into Naruto. Meanwhile, the village immediately could feel the power, the unbelievable, unholy power in the far distance. Hiruzen Sarutobi stopped what he was doing. As he turned his gaze, in the far distance he saw the behemoth. Before the Anbu even arrived, notified by the Chunin that Orochimaru was here, the Hokage was ready. The first person that came to his mind was Naruto. Has to be. Orochimaru escaped out of the snake's mouth as he was its tongue. He stepped out into reality, still attached though by the lower half. He was upset, angry, to believe that he was pushed this far, now he had to leave. Well, at least he felt it. The decapitation of one of the heads, and another. The Sannin spun around, moving the spikes, only for Naruto to break one of them off and plunge it into the head of another snake. How? How is that possible? Orochimaru said. The amount of power this form required and the amount of power he was using should have been able to destroy that brat. But no, Naruto hovered in front of him, his arms folded. I told you, and when I say something, don't take my words lightly. I told you you're going to die, and I meant it. Orochimaru lost all sense of the word cool. Every single snake started to generate power at their mouth, the remaining ones that is. Orochimaru held out his hand, as all of them combined the energy together, creating a purple spear of pure destruction. Anko Midarashi arrived. Her eyes went wide. No, she said. A lot of innocent participants will die because of that. Die, Orochimaru said as he launched a technique. Naruto watched it. As time slowed down, his perception seeing every molecule, every ounce of the power in front of him. Suddenly, the attack slammed into Naruto as he held out both hands, stopping it in mid-air. As he was holding the power back, he snapped his eyes open as the technique imploded upon itself. But there was no shockwave, no blast, as Naruto undid the technique, feeling through it, undoing the power. Orochimaru was speechless. Naruto zipped past him, again and again and again and again and again and again, until Orochimaru realized what Naruto was doing. Naruto created a literal tornado around the Chunin. Orochimaru found himself in mid-air, the giant snake form. Naruto break from the tornado and shoot into the sky, surging with the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns. When Naruto came back down and hit Orochimaru, the air exploded with so much power, only because of Naruto manipulating of the molecules within the density of the area. The attack shoot into the sky. The aftermath, that is, every single cloud that hovered over Konoha was gone. Every bird in the air at the time was eviscerated. Everything started to change, as the atmosphere was hit with an unbelievable amount of pressure. The cold and hot mixing together, creating darker clouds as the heavens started to pour. Uncle Midarashi had hunkered down. She came out of the ground using the hiding like a mole technique. Fortunately though, the attack did not hit down here like it did up there. Uncle dashed from tree to tree as she arrived to see Orochimaru on the ground. Orochimaru was bested, still alive because he fused himself with the snake insides. However, not even that allowed him to truly escape the damage. He was broken and battered as Naruto arrived and picked him up by his throat. "No, I can help you get stronger," Orochimaru begged. He pleaded for his life because he knew there was no coming back. He could feel it. The power would erase him. He didn't want to die. He was afraid. Naruto could hear the thoughts in his mind. In the outside, he begged to give him whatever he desired, but on the inside, he was crying and afraid. I wonder if this is the same way the people that you put through hell felt. Orochimaru knew that his fate was sealed the moment he heard that. The bright golden energy surrounded Orochimaru. Naruto started to undo the Chunin. He's never tried this before. However, Naruto started to literally tamper with Orochimaru molecules, messing with him on a subatomic level, breaking the Chunin apart, breaking him down, as he was literally rewriting a human out of existence. Orochimaru screamed as he enveloped within the golden light. Anko had to shield her eyes. By the time she was able to see from the bright light, Naruto stood there, both of his hands extended, but there was nothing there. She quickly moved towards him. Where is he? What did you do?" "I killed him," said Naruto. Meanwhile, screams of pain could be heard as the four sound ninjas dropped to their knees. They didn't understand what was going on. Kimimaro, one of Orochimaru's loyal as well, dropped to his knees, unable to truly understand what was going on. In the distance, back at Konoha, Kabuto Yakuji had witnessed the event. However, he fled almost immediately. Seeing his master erased, Kabuto knew there was nothing that he could do. He fled, leaving the place instantaneously, knowing that a fight between himself and that boy would end in his demise. Naruto started to walk away. "Wait," Uncle said. "What do you mean you killed him?" "Are you having some trouble with that word?" said Naruto. "I mean, I killed him, and he will never come back. Now I have to go check up on my team." Naruto flew off. Time skip. A lot happened in a few hours. Uncle gave word back to the Hokage. Hiruzen he didn't know how to feel about this. Orochimaru was a threat, yes, he must be taken care of, but he was also The past was just, he shook it away. However, he was terrified. Kakashi was right. Naruto powers were much greater than any of them thought. When Team 7 arrived with the members that were there, more than 3, many did not question what was going on. However, Aruka Mino did question what was going on, asking who was she and why was she with them. Naruto made it rather clear. Unfortunately, his answer was not something that Aruka truly understood. Was he saying that he stole someone from another village? Especially another village that was partially allied to Konoha. That he couldn't do that. Karin teammates, they tried to stop Naruto. However, her connection with Naruto grew even more. He told them to go back to their leader and inform them that she's with her clan now, someone that cares about her, and she would not be coming back. They foolishly believed that they could threaten Naruto. The only reason why they did not die was Naruto wanted them to deliver a message. One tried to attack him though. With a finger, Naruto sent him through trees, forcing his teammate to grab him, telling him that he's making a big mistake. They tried to tell Karin that she should come with them, but she chose to stick with Naruto. Aruka Mino informed the Hokage of this. Hiruzen Sarutobi was left speechless after hearing this part. 5 days. That was the end of the second test. As everyone was there. Everyone was there to take part in the preliminaries. Karin was there as well. Kakashi Hatake did not question it, having already spoken to the Hokage because this was really bad. Yes, really, really bad. Knowing how Naruto is, if this girl is truly at Uzumaki, that meant so much problem will arise. Naruto's opponent was Zaku, hail from the sound. His attacks were sound base. Unfortunately though, with a simple hit to the head, not even hard, Naruto knocked him out. The match did not even last 5 seconds. He stood no chance. Sasuke was the other member of Team 7 that got through. Sakura tied with Ino unfortunately. However, this was rather impressive. Ino had a background of a clan. Sakura had none. Her training recently had helped her reach the Ino's level in terms of fighting wise. They had 1 month to train, 1 month to prepare for the finals. However, this would not be a standard Chunin exams. Time skip. 2 Anvus stood at the door. Only you. The one to the right said. Naruto was about to say something but Karin held his hand. It's alright, she said. I'll just wait here. I'll be fine. Naruto looked at her. He nodded and stepped inside. Naruto doubted the Hokage would do something foolish and, if anything happened, he would hear it. The moment Naruto stepped inside, he could see that the office was much more guarded than usual. Hiruzen was extremely serious as he sat behind his desk. Have a seat, he said. Naruto sat down in the only available seat. What the hell have you done? Hiruzen was angry at Naruto's actions. He was pissed off. He had enough of them. He's put up with a lot of Naruto's crap, but this was not the one. You acted recklessly. You endanger international peace by removing a Kunoichi from another village team, Hiruzen said. I saved her, said Naruto. This isn't about feeling heroic, Naruto. You have directly violated Chunin exams treaty, he said. In the 5-day time span, the Land of Grass has already issued a formal demand. A formal demand. So what, said Naruto. Let them burn. Watch your mouth, Hiruzen said. Naruto stepped forward. No. What? I said no. You watch your decisions. You know that I was mistreated growing up. And yet you did nothing about that. Just like how you let other villages torture children like Karin because it's some political loophole or some bullshit. But she's a Uzumaki, that means we hail from the same clan. So she's not going back there. You have to understand there are alliances to consider. War can break out because of this. Then let it, said Naruto. I'm done. Sick and tired of this bullshit. Pretending like peace is built on pain. Your philosophy, your understanding of complications between international incident and this and that. I don't give a damn. Do you understand what they put her through? Using her as some kind of tool, as some kind of object. Using her like she was a weapon for their own good. They killed her mother. They took her mother away and there was no reprieve. No happiness, nothing, no time to mourn. They just started to use her because of her blood, because of her chakra. And I refuse to allow that to happen again. Time and time. I fall into the role. I fall into the position. I do as I'm told. But I have the power to make changes. I have the power to cause drastic changes in this world. And what's the point of having it if I can't do something about it? So it's time I make a difference. It's time I do something else. Listen to me, boy, Hiruzen said. You're still young. You don't understand the consequences of your actions. What I do understand is, I'm not like you. I'm not like any of you. You think I'm still that naive, stupid child that can be manipulated, but no. I know better now, said Naruto. And I know who I am. I'm a god in a world that deserves correction. That needs correction. Do you have any idea what you're saying? That kind of thinking leads to tyranny. Orochimaru of the Chunin. You spoke about him in your thoughts. You spoke about him because you feared my power and you thought about him leaving the village. You let him go. Do you have any idea how many people you've indirectly killed because you allowed that monster to survive? You seen what he did. He's the cause of 30 children's death. And yet you sit there and judge me for saving one girl. You want me to send her back. You want me to send her back to her abuser. To the man that scarred her. To the man that treat her like her entire body is a tool for his use. No, I won't do that, said Naruto. You don't have the authority to decide this, Hiruzen said. I once told you that I would never destroy Konoha. Because this was my parents' home, and after speaking to them, I had a foresight to understanding. But I was young, naive. And while I will not bring destruction to this village, if you stand in my way, I will retaliate against you or any one of these ninjas. You say I have no authority to make my claim, but you don't possess the power to stop me, said Naruto. As he turned and started to walk away, every envoy arrived that was in the office, weapons drawn. However, with a simple gaze, his eyes glowing, their weapons melted. Naruto started to walk as they tried to stop him, but Hiruzen lifted an arm, stopping them from stopping Naruto. Naruto gazed over his shoulder as their eyes met. There was a reason why Hiruzen did not push it. He had to think very carefully and plan accordingly as well, because this was not a simple situation. However, there was one thing that was clear. Naruto has to be dealt with. Their voices were loud. Karin overheard what was said, as did the two envoys. They also were aware that the Hokage did not seek to have him arrested or captured. The Hokage would think of the betterment of the people around him and the civilians. Simply taking Naruto here would be a stupid idea because he would retaliate in the dense middle of Konoha, where the population was great, and Naruto has shown already that he dislikes people that suck up to him because of his family name, and many people done so because of his family name, and majority of them were from this village. Flashback to a few days earlier. My lord, Konoha refused to return the girl, the boy, who called himself a god. The man that was sitting down on his seat gazed towards the messenger. His name was Jiboku. His eyes narrow. He had sleek black hair with a gray streak in the right side, not because of old age. One of his eyes also had a gray slash in it. The other one was dark. He was large, 6'4". He was slim, muscular. He was the leader of the land of grass, the most powerful of all of his people. Jiboku was mad, pissed off to believe they took what belonged to him, believe they have any right to say over anything. Jiboku was going to make the situation 100 times worse, and he knew how to make Konoha fall quickly, very quickly. It was induced from their popularity, from the point of view how people saw them, and the other nations. Well, Jiboku knew how to make a statement rather well, as Naruto actions was gonna change everything. Yes, everything. He breached another land. Yes, it was a statement though, because he took one of their valuable shinobi that would be considered as a valuable asset. Even if it's morally justified, it is seen as a hostile act. He was undermining authority. If powerful people like Naruto start to break orders and dragging people away from their village, it will destroy the chain of command, risking rebellion, risking dangerous protests, risking dangerous attacks or assassinations. The grass village was not mighty, but they had a big influence with the land of fire. That is why they were only partially Konoha allies. Their dealings was with the daimyo, the land of fire. Yes, the grass village, there was a lot that came from those land. As for Jibuki, well, his personality was a very diplomatic in public, but he was a ruthless man behind the scenes. In his philosophy, he believed that it's better to treat shinobis like tools, especially those with bloodlines. Yes, after all, in his eyes, Karin, she was not a person, she was a chakra reservoir, a healing station. Her family was given asylum here, and for that, she owed him her life, her body, everything. It was his desire and his will, and she had no say in the matter, thus he saw it. And it was called the international incident that was calling other nations in. Jiboku immediately went public, accusing Konoha of breaching Chunin exams treaties, as he called for a summit between the 5 nations to judge Naruto. The power of the other nations combining to show that Konoha was public enemy number 1. Stigmas from past wars and chaos has been chosen to be the main talking point of these things, but never has it ever been one shinobi. However, the Raikage and the Kazekage as well, especially the Tishikage, Kiri was, well, their new Mizukage was, she didn't have anything against them. But the others, they would see Konoha as a bully, and of course they would attend the Land of Iron, a meeting that would be held quickly. After all, the Chunin exams would hail in a month, and Jiboku wanted this to happen because in a month's time, well, the public eye will change on Konoha, as they created what called himself a god. However, this so-called god feel like he can do whatever he wants, break treaties, break borders, and do whatever he pleased. When the word landed on Hiruzen's decks a day later, things were moving extremely fast. Hiruzen was stunned that this was going to happen. He had no choice. Thus he made his way to visit Danzo Shimura. I told you. How long are you going to gloat for? Hiruzen questioned, as Danzo looked rather amused despite the dangerous situation. I suppose enough should be enough. I warned you about this very outcome, but you refused to listen because you believed that love, kindness could solve everything, but you were wrong. Do you have anything or not? 6 years. 6 years ago when the boy became all powerful, I told you we needed a weapon, but you refused to listen to me. It's a good thing that I decided to take matters into my own hands. Danzo said. Follow me, he said as him and Hiruzen made their way. Something has to be done. Meanwhile, Sasuke Uchiha watched as Naruto stepped out. He wanted to talk. What the hell is going on? Sasuke questioned, knowing that something was wrong. They want me to send her back, said Naruto. Who? The Hokage. I told him no. You told the Hokage no? Yes, said Naruto. I'm not going to send her back to that hell. Things will be much, much worse now after what has happened, said Naruto. That leader of the grass, Jibaku his name is. The things that he did to her, the things that he allowed to happen, I won't allow them to hurt her anymore. They took everything away from her because she was powerless. She didn't have anyone. For years, she lived on her own. She had nothing. Her mother was taken in front of her eyes and she didn't even have time to grieve. They just kept on using her power to heal themselves time and time again. Every single sentence of her past is making me feel such rage I feel like I can't control myself. Naruto took a breath, calming himself down. Listen to me, Sasuke. I don't think my future is going to be in this village. What? Sasuke said. The Hokage. He doesn't like the fact that I'm disobeying him. And soon enough I believe there will be another huge outcry because of what is going to happen soon. The Land of Grass has demanded her return, but me turning it down, I'll become public enemy number 1. I need you to keep your distance. What? You want me to left you to the wolves, Sasuke said. That is not how friends are supposed to be. Yes, and you are my friend. You're my only actual true friend, said Naruto. All these people are just pretenders. They act like they give a damn, but in reality, all they care about is reputation and stigma. However, I want you to keep your distance for now. I'll be back. Where the hell are you going? Sasuke said. If things turn the way I believe it would, I'll have to leave. Don't worry. I made a promise that I will not destroy this village. I will not become Konoha public enemy, so you have nothing to fear from me there, but I'll be back. And I'll make good on my promise. But I need you to stay here. I need you to keep your distance for the time being, said Naruto. It's the only way to keep everything going smoothly. They will try to use people against me. They will try to use everything against me. And I'm afraid what is going to happen if they do. I'm scared of my own self sometimes. I can feel it under the surface. Sasuke was once told by Naruto that he had this darkness inside of him. Sasuke was the only person that knew this. Karin felt it, but she did not know it, showing that Sasuke was Naruto's truly only friend, best friend. Naruto was scared back then, but talking to Sasuke actually made that feeling go away. Having people there for him, people by his side, people to talk to. Sasuke Uchiha agreed, offering his help whenever Naruto needs it. However, he understood that everyone has to make a choice in this life. as it is his choice to hunt Itachi down no matter what, so he would respect Naruto's wishes. Meanwhile, as Naruto entered back inside, you could see Karin was going through a lot. "What's wrong?" said Naruto. "You just curse at your own Hokage for me. She was worried. "I'm worried," she said. "I know we're connected by our clan, but we barely know one another. Why would you give up so much for me? Why would you risk so much for me?" Naruto looked at her. Years of being put through hell. You don't think that you're worth risking everything for? Listen to me, said Naruto, placing a finger towards her lips. As he wanted to explain himself. I spent my earlier years in this village, being mistreated, being attacked, and no one ever gave a damn about me. I crave for family. I crave for someone to be there for me. I crave for anything, anyone, said Naruto. But I never had it. It wasn't until I became what I am now that people started to see me. It wasn't until they found out that my father was the past Hokage that saved their life that they started to look out of visions that weren't filled with hatred. And for that, I see them all, every single one of them, as hypocrites. I only have one true friend in this village, and his name is Sasuke Uchiha. His desire and goal is also mixed with a lifetime of hate. Time and time again, I've seen people like us. The world has stepped on us. The world has kicked us around. Someone has to do something. Someone has to make a change for the future, said Naruto. My mind was made up. The moment I stepped into the land of wave and saw the suffering there, people believe that I'm only obligated to use what force I have for Konoha, but no longer, said Naruto. And when I first saw you, I felt a connection. You might not feel the same, but I did, said Naruto. And I know that I had to protect you. Your life is similar to mine, is similar to a lot of the suffering that is going on out there that cannot be stopped because of bullies. People thinking they can do whatever they want just because they have power. But I now have power. I'm going to strip it away from all of them. Strip away this sentimentality that they can do as they please, this mentality that they can step on the weaker ones. Because you, Karin Uzumaki, you are worth the risk. And I won't allow them to put you back through that hell. I just need you to do one thing for me. Believe in me. Believe that I can do this. Show me that you believe, said Naruto. Karin was overwhelmed. She was overwhelmed as she looked into his eyes. She could feel his emotions. She could feel the tip. She could feel his understanding, his compassion. It wasn't love like someone would love a wife or husband. They just know each other after all, but the feeling that she got from him. She wrapped her arms around him and started to cry. Truly crying. It was even worse than the force of death. All the pain, all the years of suffering, all the chaos that she held inside, watching her mother be taken away force, day in and day out, treated like some kind of battery to be leached upon. Finally, as he held her in his arms, she broke down. The stress. She too never had anyone, just like he didn't have anyone. But maybe they can count on one another now. Because the past was no longer the past. They were making a future. She believed in him. And as she said those words, she could feel it inside of him, knowing that he would do whatever it takes. She knew that she wasn't the strongest, but she would do whatever is necessary. Because this young man right here, this person, Naruto Uzumaki, he was the future. And there was no doubt about that in her mind. Absolutely none. Time skip. Naruto's name was starting to go viral once again even more. You see, He killed Orochimaru. Uncle Midarashi speaking to another, that leading to another, that leading to another. And now the village was aware of it. One of Konoha's most dangerous individuals was slaughtered by him. However, outside word started to reach Konoha as well, dividing the populace about what Naruto did. People started to argue against one another, many believing that he was a necessary force, some believing that his actions would lead to war within Konoha, believing that he would not aid them in the end. After all, some were quite aware of the way they treat him when he was younger, and the grudge was still there and they knew that, so they were afraid. They were downright terrified, believing that if they got caught up in a war that it would lead to, well, him abandoning them. Others believed that he would aid them no matter what. The blood of Minato Namikaze, their former hero, ran through his veins. The village was divided. The Chunin exams was coming up and yet people were only talking about this. The problem was, in 1 week, a meeting will be held between the leaders of each villages. There will also be daimyos as well. Yes, the daimyos will not be there in person, but they will be there by video. There was a lot at stake here. Konoha's reputation was big in the grand scheme of things, and it seems like Konoha was using its power, and the Land of Grass was willing to pull their support from the Land of Fire, while the Land of Grass did not have the military might that Konoha did. There was many other things that it did possess in terms of their exports, which was used by the Land of Fire for a rather sizable, beneficial income. And in this world, money does go a long way. Time skip. Karin was worried. The last time Naruto spoke to the Hokage, it did not end so well. Envoys arrived as the Hokage wished to speak with Naruto. Naruto split himself, leaving half of himself behind. This portion of himself was not as powerful as the original, but it should be powerful enough to save Karin and get her out of here. The problem was it was still deeply connected to Naruto because he needed to know what was happening to her constantly. Naruto didn't believe the Hokage would do anything too idiotic. However, the Hokage was willing to do whatever it takes for the protection of his village, so Naruto had to be prepared as well. However, Naruto believed without a doubt in his mind that he truly could not be destroyed, even if he was somehow. His body could literally repair itself from the molecules that was surrounding him from his insides as well. They had no idea how truly powerful he was. Absolutely none. Naruto made his way, arriving towards the room. It was not at the Hokage office, which was a lot more suspicious. Arriving there, Naruto stepped inside. Making his way down the hall, the Hokage was there. He was alone. The place was quiet as the envoy stepped away. Naruto looked around, watching very carefully. However, that is when he noticed someone in the shadows, Danzo Shimura. The man was standing there, calmly. Naruto, Hiruzen said. A demand was made once again, but this is different. The 5 nations, the 5 Kages will be summoned. This hasn't been done since many years ago. Going against village beliefs, actions that are taken that would threaten the reputation and public view, allowing comrades to turn into enemies. You are single-handedly dooming Konoha to a fate that it wouldn't be able to escape. I'm asking you this only once. Relinquish the girl. I will find a way. But you keeping her, you holding her, is something that would lead to so much backlash that I won't be able to stop it. I already gave you my answer. And the reason I'm down here is because I want to know yours. There is one reason why you will call me to a place like this. You believe that you can subdue me because you've become fearful of me, said Naruto, truly understanding that you don't control me anymore. So go ahead, do as you must. But know this, your action will kickstart everything. Naruto said, looking towards the Hokage. Here is Sensei. As Danzo stepped from the shadows. Enough of this, he said. The boy has grown too arrogant, believe that he's untouchable. But he's not. Naruto looked down, confused when something swallowed him. He did not see it. Naruto found himself in a strange bubble of sorts. What is this? He said. He was confused. How did he not see it? Something was wrong. The strange ooze was moving, taking a humanoid shape but more like a golem. It was large as Naruto was trapped inside. What is this? Do you believe this can hold me? Said Naruto as he threw a fist. But nothing happened. He threw another but nothing happened. And another and another and another and another but nothing happened. Danzo stepped forward as Naruto felt the drain on his power. No, that wasn't it. What is this? Let me introduce you to Kami. I'm quite aware that you can see almost everything. But this is not something that you were able to see, Danzo said. What Naruto was seeing was actually not what was there. It was just the aspect of what he was seeing. Yin and Yang Chakra coming together at its purest. It had no chakra signature, no mass. It was simply the void from a nullification intelligence, a literal, weaponized paradox. Danzo has spent the last 6 years developing this for Naruto. You see, the mass of it was not here, but it was the entire room. But the concept in front of Naruto was actually starting to seep into reality. The mixture of yin and yang chakra. Think of a genjutsu, but a genjutsu that was so real it started to literally become a part of reality itself. Because Naruto was indeed now trapped in a golem. As Naruto was growing pale, his glowing light started to diminish. Kami was extremely special. Danzo had not even the full idea that he created something so phenomenal. There were certain aspects that Danzo did not even know about that Kami did possess, becoming the perfect tool to take Naruto out. The yin and yang chakra. It was a binder seal that binds potential energy instead of current energy. The RRF, reality rejection field. Delete interface between entities, cutting off chakra flow, thought execution, even constant residence. It was a temporal anchor, locking Kami outside of irrelevant time so that Naruto could not simply erase it. The special core, absorb and reflect any concept, force, chakra, reality, light, will, or time itself. Kami was not created to kill. It was made to erase relevance, to make Naruto unable to affect the world. You see, Danzo had scoured forbidden Uzumaki sealing texts, even a clan that he believed did not originate from this planet. In the beginning, Danzo wanted to create a weapon for his own use, but he used the ideology from everything that he's seen so far, Naruto's powers. It gave him an idea. Danzo had took the vial, the empty vial. However, the remnants of the Super Sentry serum was inside of it. This is what ties everything together. While Danzo could never replicate it because Naruto was special because of the 9 tails and different factors, Danzo could take the remnants and add it to his own creation. The constant shifting golem of imprisonment for Naruto. The gravitational force that was inside of a different pocket that truly was bending space around it. Danzo himself was outdone by his own genius. Due to the Super Sentry serum that bind the chemicals together, old Uzumaki sealing arts, and that clan that he truly did not believe was from this world, Danzo had created a perfect prison to hold someone like Naruto. Before Naruto even came here, Danzo had Chant, a rather powerful seal. After all, Kami doesn't fight. It unraveled everything that Naruto tried to do. Power is severed. Light bends around it. Molecular manipulation fail in the field of Kami. Naruto, perception of time, becomes static. His speed means nothing. His thoughts, they become tangled and lag together. As Naruto was collapsing to the ground, Hiruzen got word that his clone had vanished away, unable to sustain itself due to the original. Take her. No, said Naruto. However, it was too late as Karin Uzumaki was bound. She was alone and she was bound. Naruto, she cried out. Her voice drifted towards his ears as Naruto tried to rise, but everything was just too much, pushing him down and crushing him. His mind, his thoughts, his relevance. His speed meant nothing, his strength meant nothing. The molecules meant nothing. Kami was the antithesis of Naruto. Danzo smirked, because this was going to mean that he won. But not just by defeating Naruto. Danzo had another plan after all, and he won. Hiruzen couldn't believe that it worked. He was fearful that it would have failed. And then where would they be? But Naruto was bested. That is when it happened. A crack. That Danzo took a step back. Hiruzen took a step forward. There was a crack. Something was wrong. Something was wrong. Kami has no true form. This was yin and yang. This was reality and space around it. However, there was a crack, like reality fractured around it. Kami was screaming. It had no form. It had no will. Then why was it screaming in silence? Danzo made a fatal mistake, a fatal error. You see, he believed that Naruto was just a Sentry, a powerful being. However, due to his lack of information on the matter, while he was able to stop Naruto, because of this brilliant creation of his, while he was able to suppress Naruto and weaken him, while Naruto closed his eyes, another pair of eyes opened as the darkness started to stretch all over Naruto and surround Kami as well. You see, Naruto Uzumaki might be sleeping, but the void was truly awakened for the first time. As Naruto went to sleep and the void took over, Hiruzen and Danzo stood back. Something was gravely wrong. Something was happening to Kami. As the eyes of not Naruto Uzumaki opened up this time, it was the eyes of the void. But guys, be in subscribe right here. If you want to see the next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification, stay posted. But I'm off and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.